everybody. How are we doing? Welcome. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're doing swell. I hope you're doing swole. Maybe you're doing swole. In which case, this video is just for you because we're gonna be making some high protein vegan dinners. Me giving a noogie. It's very exciting and I am ravenous. I don't want to waste really any time at all other than to say we're gonna do 3 different vegan dinners. One of them is a lot quicker, snip, snap, snappier. The other one is a variation on a traditional Indian dish. And the other one is something that I saw posted that includes butter beans, but Christ's sake, I tried to use dried butter beans once again. I soaked them overnight and I boiled them and they're still crumbly. So there's just something wrong with the beans. Yes, the special beans. The special beans. I have to admit defeat on them. I'm gonna just buy them canned from now on, so whatever. I'm not gonna let them control my mood. I'm really hungry. I don't really wanna make small talk with you right now. Other than I hope you're doing well. How did that thing go with your friend? Did you guys have the conversation? Okay, nice. Glad to hear it. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get into these recipes, shall we? Okay, so the first video we're going to be making, I'm having the recipe. So this recipe is by Soph's Plant Kitchen. We've tried their recipes before. They were delicious. And this is going to be a butter chickpea curry. Instead of the traditional use of like coconut milk, we're gonna be using silken tofu for that extra slam of protein. The main protein sources in this recipe are going to be the chickpeas, nutritional yeast. What is nutritional yeast doing in a traditional Indian dish? Well, this
is not a traditional Indian dish anymore.
And I know I say I like to stick to creators that come from the culture that the cuisine is rooted in, but in this case, for the sake of the high protein, this also just went insanely viral. I don't want to miss the opportunity to showcase this recipe because people seem to be freaking out about it. Save the comment, or make the comment.
Go ahead, I could use the engagement.
So just know that I know, okay? For the cream, it's gonna have silken tofu and it's gonna have cashews. So all those things are gonna give us protein, among other things, but those are like the big, meaty boys. Let's head over to the stove, shall we? I'm using my vlogging camera for this because I'm in the process of setting up my induction heater so we can just see it top down right here, but in the meantime, I don't have that. It's coming. Very exciting. We're gonna get the stove to a medium high heat. I'm gonna heat up some olive oil, some onions, and just a bit of salt. Now I'm gonna cook these down until they start to caramelize a little bit. Caramelize, until they caramelize. Unless you say caramelize and I support you, but I've never actually heard that come out of somebody's mouth, I don't think. Until they caramelize. And here we've got a mix of herbs and spices. We've got curry powder, turmeric, ground cumin, ground coriander, some cinnamon, smoked paprika, garam masala, and a little bit of salt, and a bay leaf. Now we're gonna let these bad boys saute for like 2 to 4 more minutes, and basically just until the raw aroma has left the building. That was written in the instructions, not the building part, just the raw aroma part. I don't really know what that means. And we're gonna let this bubble for like at least 5 minutes. Okay, while this whole thing is bubbling and boiling and doing its thing, we are going to whiz together the cream, the cashew tofu cream. For the cashew tofu cream, we're going to use some silken tofu, some soaked cashews, a little bit of salt, lemon juice, and you can add more water in if you need it to loosen it up a bit. Okay, and now the last thing we're gonna do is add some nutritional yeast into our curry, and then we're going to mix that together and we're actually going to blend up our curry so that it's got a smooth consistency. If I wasn't making this for a video, I honestly would not blend it, but I want it to look nice at the end, so I'm gonna blend it. I just want to say that is a shocking amount of nutritional yeast. So like maybe you would have to blend it because that might absorb all of the moisture out of this dish. That is a wild amount of nutritional yeast. All right, well this looks incredible and you all know I'm hungry. This took a really, honestly, kind of a while, like just trying to like do everything, but I'm hoping it's gonna be worth it. I don't think it's gonna taste like curry. I've actually had the privilege of visiting India before, in New Delhi specifically. I know a couple things about how it tastes. Based on all the nutritional yeast we put in here, I don't think it's gonna taste like an authentic curry, but if it tastes good, then it's a good way to get protein, then I'm in, honestly. Wow, damn, that is very, very good. It's a bit lemony. I think I might have added a little too much lemon juice to the cream sauce. I mean, like, no, it doesn't taste like perfectly authentic, but it still tastes really good. I mean, can't argue with any of those spices. I mean, it's all good stuff in here. I think I'll give it like an 8.5. It's really tasty. It would be good for meal prep. I think part of me is like craving what I know curry to taste like, and that's why I'm not giving it a perfect 10, but it's a clever way to pack a lot of protein into something that's already delicious. So for that, it gets an 8.5. I mean, like, I'm gonna eat this whole thing, and then I've got a lot left over, so I'm very happy with that. It's a little sacrilegious, but it's really tasty. I think it's worth a try. On to the next one.
I have to say, the more I try these straightforward recipes, the more I realize how much more there is for me to learn about vegan cooking. I thought I knew after doing 1,000 different ranking videos all the best vegan products, but with Hungry Root, I've actually discovered a few more that are my new favorites. Hungry Root is a meal delivery service that sends personalized weekly deliveries filled with recipes and groceries. They support gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, vegetarian, and more. I'm vegan. Did I not mention that? And as you know, I've been trying to build some muscle mass, get a little extra protein. The way that Hungry Root works is that you start by taking a super simple little quiz. Basically, you're sharing how you like to eat, your dietary needs, and your goals. Hungry Root will design a grocery list just for you. Hungry Root has made it super easy and convenient to eat healthy and save some time in my busy schedule. My favorite part is that I've legitimately found some products that are like my new favorite thing. A few examples are Abbott's Butcher rosemary chicken, Hungry Root's own braised lemongrass tofu, the cucumber corned bean salad. Oh my god, I made these tacos with it that were absolutely slamming. I've actually become quite the super fan, to be honest with you. And the cool thing is, the more you use Hungry Root, the more it's going to know you and what you like. So you're gonna basically become like best friends. You know, like a best friend who gives you food, the best kind. The first 100 people that use my code MERLE40 will get 40% off their first grocery order with Hungry Root. So use the link in the description or the QR code right here to get 40% off of your first grocery order with Hungry Root. Enjoy.
Okay, so it's a new day, and I have eaten all of that curry that we made, and now it's time for us to make our second high protein meal. And this next one is another recipe by Soph's Plant Kitchen. Seriously, she is killing it, the game, and she's a personal trainer, so the high protein thing is kind of in her wheelhouse. All of her videos are so beautifully shot. You have to go follow her. I am like endlessly inspired by her food content. So we're gonna be doing a creamy, garlicky courgette and butterbean bowl. Only this woman loves her butter beans.
I would too if I could figure out how to make them work for me, but I can't.
I did everything. I soaked them, I boiled them, I soaked them overnight, I boiled them low. Like, I've done everything. It must just be the damn dried beans that I was given. Bad beans, I guess. Instead of that, we're gonna use Great Northern beans. Whatever, they're the same thing, they're just smaller, okay? We're gonna slow cook these courgettes, also known as zucchini here in the States. She used 2, I'm gonna use 3 because I love a good courgette. Well, now that's a stretch. I was gonna say I can't courgette enough, but that's so bad. It always makes me really sad when I can't think of a good pun for something. It like squashes my dreams. She put it kind of fun. She said, basically slice off the top and the bottom. And what are we gonna do with these? That's right, we're gonna compost them. My building has compost and now I feel like we're all gonna live forever. Actually, I've been having crippling existential dread lately. What with the Amazon and the ocean acidification, it does make me feel happy that I'm going to start my series where I talk about these important issues, because otherwise it's just so depressing, man. Anyway, let's slice this zucchini in half. Courgette about it. Still got it, baby. Still got it. She described these as wonky triangles, and I love that. So we're gonna slice up some wonky triangles of zucchini. Look at these wonky triangles. Hey, you know what would be really nice? If you could drop some good news in the comments, some good climate news, or drop something you're doing that makes you feel in control and helpful during the climate crisis, please. I read the comments for almost every single video. The only one I didn't read was the one with the high protein dessert bar, because I felt stupid because it wasn't that high protein after all, but this is, but that wasn't, and I felt really embarrassed. Also, if you have any topics you want me to cover in my truth series, we already had one episode where I talked about why dairy is scary. I want to do some more around climate change and action items like ethical investing, all that stuff. Wonky triangles go in there, along with 8 to 10 cloves of garlic. And don't forget, I did an extra zucchini. This is about 5 tablespoons of olive oil. I never measure olive oil, but it was in her recipe. Now we're gonna add some salt, some pepper, and I'm gonna just stir that up. Oh yeah, that is dripping with oil. But you know what, that's okay because that's actually gonna kind of become like part of the sauce. I'm gonna put this in the oven. We're gonna slow roast this at 160 degrees Celsius. That is 230 degrees Fahrenheit. See, I did Celsius first this time. Maybe I'm gonna learn to know Celsius. Maybe I already know it. We're gonna let it stay in there for about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna shut up and put it in there. In the meantime, we're gonna make our cashew cream. I recently got myself a nice little like bullet. I still love my Vitamix, but this is nice for like little sauces or cream. This has some oil in it from what we just did. That's fine. I don't care. It'll be good for it. So these are my soaked cashews. We want about a cup of these bad boys. I might make a little extra because we did a little extra zucchini. Juice of 1 lemon. 3 tablespoons of nooch. That's already like 4 or 5 grams of protein. Pepper. Salt, and I'm gonna add that water in for the consistency. If we need to add more, we will. And we're gonna blitz this baby up. Oh, I almost forgot the garlic. Don't forget to put the garlic in. 2 cloves of garlic. We want it creamier than this. It's like another 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. And I'm gonna add a little more because like I said, I'm adding more cashew, so. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We've got like another 30 minutes for the zucchini, so I'm gonna press pause on the record button and I'll see you in a little bit. Wow, look at this. So while I was letting the zucchini cook up, I went ahead and I blended up 1 slice of bread and a handful of almonds, and I whizzed it up in the blender, and then I put it over some heat with some oil, some salt, and some garlic powder. So we have these like sort of nice, fresh, crispy breadcrumbs that we're gonna sprinkle over the top when we're done. We let those cook for about 35-40 minutes, and then they were supposed to be covered. I didn't realize that. So then you're supposed to remove the lid and cook for another 10 to 12 minutes. Mine were uncovered, and I just continued to cook them. So now we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna squish down the zucchini so they release their juices. I'm using these Great Northern beans in place of butter beans because I couldn't find any. And we're gonna go ahead and dump these beans right in there with the bean juice. We're gonna scoop out about 2 tablespoons of our cashew cream. And now we're just gonna top this with our breadcrumbs. And that's it. Wow, this looks so beautiful, dude. This feels elegant. I feel like I'm in Bridgerton. It's a zucchini beanie delight. That's what I'll call this. You're gorgeous. Oh my God, who are you wearing? This is incredible. I'm so excited to try this. This is on some Bridgerton, Downton Abbey shit. It kind of looks like a casserole. Actually, tonight I'm going to Arya's brother's place. We're gonna have dinner with his family. And I was just gonna order something to bring for myself so they didn't have to cook me a whole separate meal. And now I'm gonna bring this, and I low-key think they're gonna wish that they were vegan tonight. Okay, so yes, we are renaming this the Zucchini Beanie Delight. I hope you don't mind, Soph. Let's give her a try, shall we? Oh, I'm just kidding. Say less, do less. I'm putting more of the cashew cream in there, honestly. The nice thing is, look how much this makes. Get a nice slice of sourdough fresh bread, dip it in this. Ooh, you're in business. I'm so pleased with this. I think it's easy, it's delicious. Oh my God, it's so good. It's like a 9.5 out of 10. Might even be a 10 out of 10. I can't really think of any faults. I think it's because it doesn't feel like a full meal, but it is, but like, it's more something you'd like dip bread in. So I'm gonna give it a 9.5. It could have a slightly more complex flavor, but there is something beautiful in its simplicity. The garlic is screaming. I'm sold. I love it. Zucchini Beanie Delight for the win. All right, so we got our last vegan high protein dinner. This video I saw, sticky lemon pepper tofu, which sounds delicious. This guy's claiming that this is about 40 grams of protein per serving. All of the comments were like, how is that possible? Because basically the recipe is just seasoned tofu. The math is not mathing, as the children say. We're gonna doctor this one up a little bit because as it is now, if you're gonna be eating this whole entire packet of tofu, you still only get, or actually, let's see. No, there's 4.5 servings per container. So what am I talking about? So 4 times 8 is plus 4 is 36. So there's 36 grams of tofu. So you would have to eat this whole entire package in order to get the 36 grams of tofu. He must have one that has slightly more protein. I mean, to get 36 grams of protein, I'm losing myself in my words. What I'm trying to say is you'd have to eat this whole packet. This is 36 grams of protein. I'm gonna add a couple little things that will build out the meal just a little bit so that you don't have to eat the entire packet, unless you want to, which is, this is a no judgment zone. I've done it, I get it. So first thing we're gonna do, drain this. I'm using firm tofu. I originally had planned to use extra firm. I don't know where I went wrong, but whatever, it's fine, whatever. So now I'm gonna drain this tofu, put this on there for a sec. We are going to keep this paper towel. I personally use them to wipe up my station when I'm done. Tofu water doesn't scare me, so you also should compost it if you're not gonna use it. But like, especially for the cutting boards, like a damp towelette. Now I'm going to slice this. He had some meaty cubes going on, so we're gonna keep ours thick. I mean, honestly, as I'm cutting this, I'm like, I'm probably gonna eat this whole block. Who am I kidding? All right, so we're gonna take our cubes. Why am I hearing pubes in my ear? Cubes, put them in our bowl. Now I am going to add our seasonings. See, this is an example of using the paper towel. There were no measurements. They love to do that to me, and I'm up for the challenge, so it's fine. So we're gonna add some garlic powder, some oregano, some freshly cracked pepper, some salt. I'm gonna veer off the course just a little bit, and I got some lemon pepper because we're gonna have lemon flavoring in the sauce later, and it's a lemon pepper tofu, so why not? And then just drizzle some olive oil over there. Now we're gonna try to mix this up. All right, so now we're gonna take a little bit of cornstarch and we're gonna coat our tofu in it. That's gonna help it fry up crisp. All right, we're gonna pop on over to the stove and fry these babies up. It's Merle on the move. Let's head over to the stove. That was quick, no traffic. Okay, so we're going to put some oil in our pan and we're gonna heat it up and we're gonna sizzle our tofu real nice. All right, so check it out. Our tofu looks gorgeous. I did get zapped by the oil, but I have survived and I am stronger because of it. I'm gonna take the tofu out of the pan and then we're gonna add in some butter, garlic, soy sauce, lemon juice, and a little maple syrup. He used agave, but I don't have agave, so I'm gonna use maple syrup. And that's gonna be our sauce, and then we're gonna toss our tofu back in there and let it soak it all up, you know, and let it just get coated in the juices, and that's it. Here we have our final dish. The tofu's done. As I said before, I added a little nutritional yeast to give that extra boost of protein. I'm also gonna add a little side of beans to this just to make it a little more complete, and also another boost of protein. All right, let's dish this up. Look at how beautiful. That's about half the pack of tofu. So right off the bat, we've got half the packet of tofu. That was 36.
So that's 18 grams of protein here, plus the roughly, I'd say I added 3 tablespoons, another tablespoon and a half of nutritional yeast. That's like another 3 or 4 grams of tofu. And
31. So, you know, that's a rough estimate, but that right away is pretty amazing. I'll give it just a couple little pieces of parsley. Damn, that tofu really packs a punch. It's like restaurant style, restaurant quality tofu. I love it. Relatively straightforward and easy. Honestly, I'm gonna add more parsley. The parsley adds a really nice kind of sweet, intense, complex flavor there is in the sauce. I'm like a purist when it comes to tofu. I'm not the biggest fan of like fried stuff in cornstarch. This, I think, would be really good for people who don't like tofu but want to use it as a plant-based protein source because it's so powerful. I think I put a little too much lemon juice too. Again, there were no measurements, so I just had to eyeball it, but it's really delicious. Like the flavor is there. It feels just a slight bit junk foody, which there's nothing wrong with that. Sticky, like congealed tofu sauces aren't my favorite thing in the whole world. I'm gonna give it an 8.7. I really think it is really, really tasty. We found a way to get closer to that 40 grams of protein per serving mark. Really delicious, like really delicious. Shout out to all the amazing creators who shared their recipes with us today. Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to try your delicious meals. And I hope this gives you guys some inspiration for some high protein dishes. I am so excited that I have 3 more recipes that I can add to my rotation. Yeah, I mean, I can't stop eating this, so you know, it's good. It's really good. If you want to see more high protein recipes, let me know. If you want more simple, easy, vegan recipes, let me know. If you want to hang out with me between videos, I've got a Discord. All my social links are in the description. Go check them out. Without any need to just keep rambling, I'm not going to keep going. I'm just talking myself into oblivion when I just want to stick my whole face in this bowl. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. And with that, I will bid you adieu. Ciao for now, everyone.